What up y'all, it's Dom, and today we're talking about the ZV-E10 as a studio camera, specifically for shots like this for your YouTube channel or whatever content you are creating. Let's get into it. Actually, with confidence say, I really like the camera. I'd recommend it to majority of new videographers or content creators looking for that one camera to do it all on a budget. The value is just so good on this camera. I really give it a thumbs up. But that being said, today's video, we're gonna talk about this camera in a studio setup, talking head setup just like this. Maybe you are a YouTube reviewer or a beauty content creator, anything like that, where you need a talking head setup in studio with a fixed locked off shot like this. The ZV-E10 is fantastic. In fact, that's where this camera shines. But I'm not one on this channel to kind of give you a lot of fluff. I'm one to show you and not tell you. So right now you're actually viewing this shot on the ZV-E10. How do you guys think it looks? My studio setup is pretty simple. I just have a key light and a little fill light in the back. I have links below for those lights. They're not expensive at all. I mean, we're talking $100 and like, I think $80 back there. A few $20 eccentric fill lights. Eccentric's the wrong word, but you know what I'm saying? Little Amazon pop lights. And then the one key component here to this setup is I do have the mic off camera and I have the mic above me directly, really close to my mouth. So that is my basic setup, a little cheap table, a little chair, and that's all you need to get a pretty high quality shot like this. Now, I will say, just like I put out a video just on the ZV-E10 for a vlogging setup, the ZV-E10 is a fantastic value. As you can see, it shoots really high quality video. The real-time eye tracking autofocus doesn't miss. I really don't even look at the screen to see if I'm locked on because I know I am. It's just that accurate, and you have very, very little worries when it comes to eye tracking autofocus. The big caveat with this camera is I'm not shooting on the kit lens. That's something that I think all of you guys really need to get into your head, that if you buy this camera, it's okay to start on the kit lens, but to really gain the full potential and get shots like this, you're gonna wanna upgrade the lens. Right now I'm shooting on the Tamron 28-75 2.8 lens. I'll link it below. It's not super expensive. I think you can get them right now used for about $500-600. They came in new, I think it's $750. But in comparison to the body only of the ZV-E10 at $699, that is a bit of an investment. It's almost gonna double your investment all in to get you this type of footage. You can absolutely get a shot similar to this on the kit lens, but it's got a variable aperture, meaning the aperture closes and opens as you zoom and widen out. And right now I'm shooting at about 50 millimeters. So on the kit lens, you'd be shooting at about 5.6. To put that in perspective, right now I'm shooting at f2.8. So you're getting a little bit of bokeh, a little bit of blurriness in the background right now, a little bit of shallow depth of field. It really gives you some depth, some beauty in the shot, and really isolates myself as the subject a little bit. But with that kit lens, you will not get that. Everything will be in focus. I will not be as sharp. And also the lighting is gonna need to be adjusted. Definitely if you're starting out on YouTube, I would say the kit lens, you can get a lot of shots with that, as well as the fact that you don't really need an off-camera mic. Let me show you what this shot sounds like without the off-camera mic. And now you're listening to the onboard mics of the ZV-E10. I haven't moved the camera at all. I'm speaking in the same volume. Ideally, I'd like to have the camera a little bit closer when I'm using onboard mics because I'm about 6 feet away with this zoom length, which is why I had the external mic plugged in. But what do you guys think? I still think this is plenty usable for your beginning YouTube channel. You don't need to start your channel off. This camera can get you all you need. You don't need an external mic, but it definitely is an improvement in sound quality and video quality overall. Two other concerns that you have to have with this camera is battery life. You're going to need 3 or 4 batteries because the battery life is just subpar. And if you're shooting any type of long form content like a video podcast or long form reviews, you're gonna want that extra battery life. Now, I've shot this camera up to 45 minutes to an hour in continuous shooting just for testing purposes and stuff, and I've had 0 overheating. Again, I'm in Southern California in a climate controlled studio, so even inside or outside, I've had 0 overheating issues, which is quite nice. Now I'm shooting this shot just in the standard picture profile. I'm not going to get into log profiles, and really for this shot I'm not going to edit and color grade this in post because I want you guys to see exactly how you will get your video straight out of camera. And I actually don't think the footage is that bad. I think you have pretty good colors, pretty good depth in the range of shadows to highlights and that sort of stuff. So I'm actually pretty happy, and I think anyone out there in terms of content creation for the internet should be plenty satisfied with the video that what's coming out of this, especially because YouTube's gonna crush and compress that footage. And I think for $698, there's nothing to scoff at here. In terms of form and function, this camera is designed specifically for this. It thrives in the studio setup. You get different options like product showcase, where it locks on to this really quickly when I lift it up, and then it comes back to my eye very fast. You could do background defocus. It has a nice red ring around the screen to show you that you are recording. So it's just different things that are thought out by Sony that really just does a really good job to make it easy to sit down, shoot, and focus on your content and not on the camera. Now, if you are a fan of my channel and my work, you know that I test and put out videos and reviews for lots of different cameras. I've shot and tested the Canon M50, the Fuji XS10, the Sony A66-6400, the Canon M52, the ZV-1, all cameras that are kind of in this price point that I think would do really well in the studio setups, and I could confidently say I would take the ZV-E10 over any of those cameras previously mentioned for this type of specific work. The camera I would say that comes close to this that I would recommend is the Fuji XS10. That's kind of my winner overall for the best jack of all trades camera. I'll link that video at the end of this video, but the ZV-E10 pretty much is the king of the castle when it comes to value, price point, and this locked off studio type shot. If you're looking to start any type of YouTube channel or content creation where you're doing talking head type work, this is the camera for you. Get you a nice sturdy tripod, lock this camera off, and get your shot. There are a few downfalls to this camera, but not enough red flags to hold you back. Number one, the menu system is poor. Number two, the battery life is subpar. Number three, it doesn't have an electronic viewfinder, which I personally like for, you know, shooting thumbnails or any type of photography. I like to have an EVF. And number four, you are gonna have to invest some money in an aftermarket lens. Five, this camera really thrives in locked off work like this, but it does have some issues with the sensor when you are moving on the go. But if you are looking into vlogging or any type of cinematic type footage, check out my other video on the ZV-E10 specifically as a vlogging camera. What can I say? This camera does have a few flaws, but definitely is still the king when it comes to cheap, affordable, quality 4K video in a locked off studio type setting. Your real-time eye tracking autofocus, good colors, no crop in 4K, flip out touchscreen, and easy controls make this camera the ideal purchase for anyone starting a YouTube channel, looking to better their content quality, maybe coming off an iPhone, or just anyone looking into getting into video. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. If I brought you some value and helped out with your purchasing decision, hit me with a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome videos. Stay tuned for more ZV-E10 content. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.